In Season 1 with our Queen's Park Rangers side, we finished just outside of the playoffs. I think I said maybe in Season 1 that it was just 1 point, but actually that's not how the playoffs works. We were, 5 points, 4 points, 5 points behind 6th place Wolves, who obviously did go into the playoffs. We were finishing down in 8th place. I'm hoping this season, in Season 2, we can get ourselves into the playoffs. I don't think we're ever going to be pushing for those automatic promotion spots, but I think we should be good enough to get ourselves into kind of the playoffs. Maybe we need to go through the playoffs to get ourselves promoted to the Premier League. We also had a ridiculously good run in the Carabao Cup. A Carabao Cup that was actually eventually won by the team that did knock us out in the quarterfinals, Arsenal, where we lost 3-0. So realistically, the goals for Season 2 is to get into the playoffs. FA Cup and Carabao Cup, I don't really care too much about. We are not a club that desperately needs money. We've got £16 million in the bank. So money really isn't something we need to be chasing at this stage of this career. Maybe if we're stuck in the Championship for a few more seasons, we might need to start thinking about how we can get ourselves a bit of extra money. Obviously, it is the 11th of June. A new transfer window has opened, and we have already brought in one player. He's not exciting, but I'm hoping he's one for the future. His name is Mark Mullin from South Shields on a free transfer. He was found by a scout, and he was free. And I went, you know what, he's free, he's English, he's 18 years old. Let's bring him in, stick him in the under-21s, maybe loan him out to somebody else, probably stick him on the dev list, something like that. If he gets good, he gets good. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Simple. Right, let's jump forward then to the end of the first transfer window. Obviously, the season will have kicked off. Definitely some transfer business will have taken place as well. I think, actually, we probably need to check something. Yeah, we definitely need to check something. So, we have all of these players will be out of contract in the space of a month. So we've got the big names here. We've got Morgan Fox. We've got arguably Andre Dazelle, kind of, somewhat of a big name. We've got Lyndon Dykes and Michael Fry. Those are kind of, particularly Dykes and Fry, are two very big names. Big wages on them as well, 11,000 and 5,775 for Fry. Top goal scorer last season. We are losing both of them. Dykes and Fry will be leaving when their contracts expire. So we're going to have a big summer trying to replace both of our kind of main strikers. Although Lyndon Dykes, if I'm honest, he's not very good. He's got 10 finishing. We've jumped forward to the 1st of July, so the actual proper transfer window has started, so anyone who's out of contract has obviously left the club, and means we have brought in a few players, but also we have lost a few players, Lyndon Dykes being one of them. He has returned to Scotland, signing for Hibs on a free transfer. Casey Shan, another player who was out of contract, has moved over to FC Kosice in Slovakia. And Noah McCann has gone to Cove Rangers on a free transfer. And we have also lost Alfie Lloyd, Stephen Duke McKenna, Morgan Fox, Andre Dazelle, Zayed Larkesh, Paul Smythe, Michael Fry, Harry Kant and Laurent Talla have all left on free transfers. It means our squad is very small at the moment. We have brought in a few players though. 4 of them to be precise, and 3 of them are wing-backs. Niall Huggins is one of them, a 25-year-old formerly of Sunderland and Leeds, has come in on a free transfer. He can play on both flanks. All of these players so far have come in on free transfers because this is kind of what we needed to do. I think Huggins, really good player for no money. Another really good player for no money is Brooke Norton Cuffey, former Arsenal man, spent many seasons on loan at Lincoln, Rotherham, Coventry, Millwall and a bit of Coventry once. Again, he's moved over to Queen's Park Rangers on a free transfer. Probably going to be that right wing-back position, but we could retrain him to be on the left as well if we need him. But also, on that left-hand side, we have signed Elian Quesada Thorne, who is a 21-year-old Costa Rican international signed from Arsenal. Can play anywhere down that left-hand side, but I brought him in predominantly to be a left wing-back, which is not really a position he can play. I mean, he can play, obviously, he is natural there, but his numbers aren't amazing. I think he's probably more of a winger, but we're going to kind of retrain him. And by retrain, I mean kind of force train him into an actual a wing-back on attack on that left-hand side. Probably not going to play a huge amount of football first couple of seasons, but he's still only 21, so plenty of time to develop. And finally, we have signed Kelvin. It's Kelvin. I don't know why. I don't really know why I brought him in. So originally, I did a Reading save on FM24 many years ago, back in 1963, I think it was. And I had Kelvin playing for Reading, obviously, and he was really, really good. He became available on a free transfer. I thought, let's bring him in. He's not a terrible footballer. He's not good enough, okay? He's not good enough for us. We do need to get somebody better. And that is all the transfers that we have done. If we have a look at our squad at the moment, it is quite sizable, but we don't really have any good strikers. We've got, we've got this guy, obviously, Ola Adabomi, who is obviously a very good striker. We've got Kelvin and we've got Corey Gordon, who has come through our youth intake a few seasons ago, who looks like he could be okay, but I think we do need to get ourselves another decent striker there. we've got some decent players, but no one really, like, we can definitely do with strengthening. And I think as well, we probably need to sell some people as well. Maybe get some kids out on loan, because if you look actually, we're sort of by age, Gardner, Gibson, Gordon, Pickering, they're all children. They're all 18 years of age or younger. Iopenda is 21, so he's still pretty young as well. We've got a very young squad. We've also got a couple of aging players in Ajayi and Brian. And basically, what I'm trying to say is I don't really know what I'm going to try and do this transfer window. We do have £5 million to spend, so that has gone up from what it was initially. I don't think we're going to spend all of it, but we're certainly going to spend some of it. And just to remind you, this is the formation that we'll be playing. If I actually do a very quick best 11, this is our best 11 currently. So we have got Clark Salter, Spencer Adams and Ajayi in defence, Norton Cuffey, Weir, Field and Brian as our defensive midfield players. We've got Pedder and Willock. Pedder's not good enough. We need a better attacking midfielder. And we've got Ola Adebomi as well as our striker. So I think there's definitely room for improvement. Probably a right wing back. Probably a centre-back as well, because Ajayi's getting on a bit. Probably, I mean, almost certainly an attacking midfielder and probably a striker as well. So expect a few transfers to take place. 4 more players have joined the club then over the course of the summer transfer window. Ghassan Admei is one of them, formerly of Wigan, scored 22 goals over the last couple of seasons for Wigan, formerly of Ipswich by the looks of it, Burton Albion a few times, Portsmouth, Norwich, and Gimnastica Manresa might be their name over in Spain. So I'm hoping Admei, might be his name, is going to do all right for us. He's not amazing, but we have got somebody else who should be a bit better. And that is Keon Etete. Not sure if that's how you're supposed to say his name. He's a 24-year-old English striker. He's 6'4". He's a big, big lad. Signed for a bit of money, £750,000, possibly going all the way up to £900,000. Formerly Notts County Spurs, and we have purchased him from Cardiff. He's not scored a lot of goals, but I think system-wise is part of the problem here. So Etete might be our number 1 striker, but I think we've got ourselves 2, maybe arguably 3 very good strikers now at the club. We've also brought in another goalkeeper, and we probably shouldn't have done it. For £250,000, we've signed Christian Walton, the 30-year-old Englishman of Ipswich. He's come in as a first-choice goalkeeper, and he's probably going to be a bit of a rotation. I think him and Gauci are quite similar. So if we have a look, where is he, Joe Gauci? I think they're quite similar players. Maybe Walton might be slightly better. I wanted some competition, basically, for Gauci, because he was the only one who was going to be playing for us. And I thought Walton's probably a good option there. He's getting paid a bit less money. Maybe someone's going to come in for Gauci, possibly over the summer. But yeah, now we've got 2 first-choice goalkeepers, which I guess is fine. And finally, we've brought in Jamaican international 27-year-old Josh Grant, formerly of Bristol Rovers, Plymouth, Chelsea, and a bit of Yeovil and probably somebody else as well. Nope, the loan was Yeovil and Plymouth. Bristol Rovers, he's been there for a fair few seasons, did go up to the Championship, dropped back down to League One, but I think we've got ourselves a pretty good player here in Josh Grant. He can obviously play in a couple of positions, centre-back or defensive midfield, and I brought him in to be that defensive midfield role. And that is all of our transfer business. If we actually have a look, we did loan out Corey Gordon and Kelvin. Both of them have gone out on loan to Tranmere and Gillingham, respectively. Rob Gardner as well, another player who I said he's in our first team, but he's a bit on the young side. He's gone out on loan to Crewe. And Jake Coombs, who isn't in our first team, has gone out on loan to Stevenage. And a few other players. So Ryan Colley has gone out on loan to Grimsby. So what does that mean for our best 11 then? Well, kind of ridiculously, our main and best striker isn't at the club. It's Corey Gordon, apparently, is our best striker. So let's drop you out for whoever the second best striker is, which I'm going to go with is probably you. So Ola Odembomi is our lead striker. They still think Pedder is there. I mean, obviously I didn't replace Pedder, but he did so good last season. He's rubbish. He's absolutely garbage. But he did so good last season for us that I'm kind of okay with keeping him about. Grant drops into that defensive position, which I'm not too convinced is where I want him to be. I want him to sort of be an option in that defensive midfield role area. So, I mean, have we improved our squad? Maybe. Have we improved it enough? Probably not. Obviously, the season has kicked off, and so far 6 games have been played. We're currently sat 7th in the table, just outside the playoffs. 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. So what's happened? We've beaten Huddersfield, Oxford and Preston. A draw with Middlesbrough and defeats against Coventry and Hull. Who do we think is probably going to go up? Taking a look at the season preview, we are supposed to be getting relegated. Really? Relegated? We finished like 8th last season. Wolves, Fulham, 2 favourites to go up. But also we've got Sheffield United, Barnsley, Middlesbrough, Hull. Arguably those are kind of the favourites. Maybe Bristol City and West Brom. Ipswich should be there. Surely Ipswich should be there. Oh, and we have also been knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Southampton in the second round, which is fair enough. We don't really care for it. Last season was the quarterfinals. This season, second round. Well, the last thing to do then is to jump to the end of the season. We have still got a large sum of money in the bank, just under £10 million to go. We are the second top scoring team in the league so far, so I'm hoping big things. Let's jump to the end of the season and see how things have gone. In the FA Cup, we were knocked out by eventual runners-up, Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday got to the final of the FA Cup from League One and lost against Chelsea. Does that mean Sheffield Wednesday are in Europe? Hold on. They're probably not in Europe because that's not how it works. But the fact that they were in League One, they didn't even get promoted, but they got to an FA Cup final is ridiculous. I kind of hope they're in Europe. Chelsea obviously finishing fourth, so they're in the Europa League. I think it drops down, doesn't it? Newcastle in the Champions League. Fair enough, they probably won something. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we got to in the FA Cup. We did lose in the fourth round 4-1, but in the league, we made it all the way through to the final of the playoffs. I think we finished maybe 5th or 6th in the table. We were up against Fulham in the final, an all-London affair. And unfortunately for us, it goes the way of Fulham. Just the one goal in it on the stroke of half-time. The corner comes in, Calvin Bassey is there, heads straight past Joe Gauci. And that is all Fulham needed to win themselves promotion back to the Premier League. And when you look at the match stats, it was very one-sided, wasn't it? We had 3 shots on target, but an XG of not even half. This is the team that we started, so kind of what I would expect. Etete was our lead striker with Ola Adembomi coming off the subs bench. Pedder is not good, is he? He's just not good. He's got a month left on his contract. Feel like Pedder might be off. So that is how our season finished. We qualified for the playoffs, basically 5 points clear of 7th place Blackburn. So a fair distance away from not getting into the playoffs. We do obviously lose to Fulham in the final, but if we have a look, we did beat Middlesbrough 7-2 on aggregates to get to that final. We've also obviously had ourselves a youth intake, and is it any good? Probably not. I'll let you be the judge of it realistically, though. So we have got 5 good talents. That's it. Everyone else is decent talents. So let's start with Oliver down here. Oliver Jimmer, who is a 16-year-old left winger. He's got some pace behind him, a bit of acceleration, but everything else is not really too inspiring. Christopher Edwards next up, who is a left back. Obviously, we don't play left backs, so we would need to retrain him. He does have nice high determination and lovely bravery of 20. Not much else, though, to Christopher. Joe Higgins, he's good. I like Joe Higgins. He's 5'9", though. Not really what you want from a centre-back. 10 heading, 5'9", jumping reach of 7. Yeah, you're not a centre-back, although you've got all the attributes to be a good centre-back, apart from the heading and the height. Dan Dolling, or Don Dalling, which is I'm almost certainly going to call him every single time, is a 15-year-old central midfielder who looks absolutely garbage. And we also have Michael Cronin, who is a 15-year-old striker who, again, doesn't look very good at all, does he? We've not had a particularly good youth intake. I never seem to. This Football Manager, FM24, I've always seemed to be getting just average or below average intakes. It's not good, okay? Especially when you consider we've actually got good youth facilities. We've got above average youth recruitment. We're in London. So I don't know whether the game does this, but I think it kind of does. We are in London. We have a huge pool of people, in theory, who could becoming a youth player to our club. Yes, we've got the other big London sides nearby as well that will also be stealing some of our players, but we should still get the occasional good player coming through our youth intakes. Obviously, we're only 2 seasons in. We haven't had anyone amazing in Season 2, but Season 1 we did, really, didn't we? I mean, if you actually look at the star rating, so I think Chris Brooker, actually, he has come through youth intake since the start of the game. Jim Orr and Dolling are the ones that have just come through. I think, actually, maybe they've been bumped up to the first team, or not even the first team, the under-21. So Samuel Solomon, I think, came through as a youth intake player. He looks quite good. He's got 3 Ethiopia caps. Sin Seong Hyun, also somebody who came through youth intake. Again, doesn't look terrible. Maybe we had all of our good youth intakes before we joined the club. Last thing I want to double check quickly, actually, is the players that went out on loan. So I'm not going to go too in-depth with this, but obviously we've got some players who could be good. Rob Gardner is somebody who I want to get good, and he does look good. Spent a season on loan at Crewe, played 19 times, 9 off the bench as well. Does look like he is improving. We've also got Kelvin, who went to Gillingham, scored 10 goals, but he's not very good, is he? And Corey Taylor, who went out on Corey Gordon. Corey Taylor is someone very different. Corey Gordon, who is obviously the striker who went on loan to Tranmere. Doesn't look horrendous, does he? I think another season out on loan, and maybe Season 4 might be Corey's time. From a squad perspective, lots and lots of goals have been scored. So Jensen Weir has scored 10 goals in all competitions. We've also got Pedder scoring 12. He's good, but he's not good. Chris Willock scoring a whole bunch of goals as well. 14 and 13 assists and 17 goals for Ola Adebomi as our lead goal scorer. We've also got Etete, who did start the second half of the season scoring 9 goals in all competitions. So he's got a few goals, maybe not enough. We did kind of think, but I did think we'd score more goals than we actually have. We've got Scott Wright with 10 assists as well. Norton Cuffey getting 9 assists. Joe Bryan getting 9 assists too. So I think we've had a pretty good year. It does mean season 3, I want to be in the playoffs again. And arguably, we want to be winning the playoffs. I don't want to get to a final and lose the playoffs again.